unser Gute-Laune-Party-Song We Love Water speziell für die Boot, für diese neue Kampagne in Auftrag gegeben, komponiert und aufgenommen. Im August haben sie es vorgestellt bei einem großen Media-Meeting mit wirklich super toller Liveband. Also ich muss sagen, es hat echt Spaß gemacht und kann man bei Spotify und auf den ganzen Streaming-Diensten auch streamen und anhören und macht jedenfalls gute Stimmung. Und We Love Water passt super gut auch zu meinem nächsten Gast. Der liebt auf jeden Fall das Wasser. Alex Dawson, der Unterwasser-Fotograf aus Schweden, ist hier bei uns auf der Bootbühne. Welcome back, Alex, to the stage at the boat. How have you been finding the boat experience so far?
Hello. Okay. The boat show so far has been fantastic, I think, this year. There's so many cool places, vendors and gear, so I think this is my third time here and it's just as good as normal.
I mean, you have definitely taken pictures and visited some of the most unusual, extreme and special dive sites underwater, but he just told me while the song was running that just today he saw an unbelievable dive site at a presentation and he doesn't even know where it is yet and is trying to find out, because this is what happens at boat show. Even someone like you can still spot something new that's fascinating.
Yes, that's very fascinating. I'm gonna find out what this is and I'll be back with footage from this site for sure.
So let's go back a little bit to your beginnings, because you are one of the photographers that we have here on the stage where I think, let's see if I see online any photos of a dive site. You know, there are some of those sites that just collect pictures from anybody and they post them. And I can always recognize when it's a picture by Alex Dawson. You have a very recognizable style that you've developed over the years, and I want to talk a little bit about where it all started. So these two images are some of the first images you took. Tell me a little bit more about those.
Yes, it's not the first images I took. I photographed first for 10 years, just on regular film, and I took close to 30,000 negative films. All of those images are pretty much bad, but this is the beginning of my digital era. And the image to the left was taken in 2004, I think, just as I had gotten a digital camera. It's taken in my homeland, Sweden, in a lake. And at this point I figured out that wide angle is the way I want to go, because I wanted to show the beauty of the underwater world for people that don't dive, for my friends, family. The divers already have this opportunity to see this beauty. The image to the right was a trip to Bahamas I did late in 2005, and this image and among other images made it into covers in almost 15 different dive magazines around the world.
So this was also your first successful pictures, let's say, where you getting into the realm of professional underwater photography.
Yes.
I think from there you moved on quite a lot. In your recent photographs, there isn't a lot of marine life anymore, and this one is an exception. Where is this and what are we seeing here?
So this is a picture from a few years back from Mexico in the Socorro Islands. I was on a liveaboard there and I was diving my rebreather, and the beauty with being on a rebreather when you're around scalloped hammerheads is that they are very scared of bubbles, but on a rebreather where you don't blow bubbles you can get really close to them. At this picture I was shooting them from the side, but I had many occasions where the whole school of 50 to 100 hammerheads came straight above me, and this will never happen unless you're on a rebreather.
I think what we see here is that already you are taking in the whole space, and yes, it's a story about the hammerheads, but it's also a story about this particular place that really shines through in this image. And oh wait, there we go. So now we move on to something that happened in the recent years in your development. I was there when you first started doing the mine diver courses and the caves diver courses, and I mean that was definitely a challenging progression, but you've developed into a very proficient technical diver with deep wrecks, deep caves, deep mines being some of your favorite places.
Absolutely.
And still taking the image that tells the story of that place. This is the Zenobia. Tell me a little bit more about that wreck.
Yeah, I always try to capture images that catches the eye from the viewer. Like, I want to create like, oh, I wish I was there feeling. Like, I want people to like be drawn and attracted to the place and feel like, wow, I could do this. This looks really interesting and inspiring. I always try to keep a diver in the image. In the hammerhead shot, it was kind of difficult because if I would have a diver with bubbles there would be no sharks. So that was not an option. But here in the Stenobia, this is a wreck that sunk on its maiden voyage, leaving the harbor in Cyprus, and it was full of trucks, and it capsized just 20 minutes outside the harbor. So now we can dive it. It's a 200-meter long ship with all of these trucks laying all over the bottom. This is maybe around 30 meters depth. It's kind of inside a cargo hold. You can't really see the top of it, but it's a little bit of overhead environment in this image, and with this kind of depth and a rebreather, you can stay very, very long at these places without getting any decompression, which is very beneficial for photography.
One of the skills that you have that I also found special, because we have actually worked together before, we've traveled together before, is that I have come across a bunch of photographers that as soon as the conditions aren't perfect, as soon as they're not ideal, like, you know, the visibility isn't super clear, that happens a lot. They go, oh, it's pointless to take a picture. Whereas for me, who's sometimes in the picture, the experience is what it is. Like, each place has its own magic in any condition. And I found that with you, you're really able to make it work even when there's no visibility for something or the light isn't ideal. You still manage to capture the magic.
Yes, I hear that quite a lot from my dive buddies, that when they get to see the images, they're like, why does it always look better on your pictures than I remember it was in reality? And this is one of my specialities, to like enhance that feeling, because a picture is just a 2D image, but I'm trying to recreate the feeling of the atmosphere when you were there. So, because you have the noises, the bubbles, the water, the floating, all that needs to somehow get captured in the image, and this is something I've succeeded with quite well somehow.
Yeah, I think you're really translating the mood and the sense of the place even to the people who weren't able to be there, and that shines through and that makes your work really so special. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is a very unique place, 1 hour journey into a cave in Mexico, and the room you found there. So this is serious cave diving. Tell me a little bit about the room that we're about to see in this film.
Yeah, so we're going to be watching a video from a place called Yabyam. It's a place that very, very few people have dived in the Yucatan Peninsula. It's about 1 hour cave dive into the cave, and once you get in about 1 hour, there's a massive, massive hollow space which measures 100 by 100 meters. The bottom in one end is 25 meters, and the bottom in the other end is close to 70, 80 meters. And yeah, just to go to a space like this is a very, very unique experience, and I was astonished the first time I visited.
So the reason why I asked Alex to put this video into the presentation is that I've seen pictures of vast spaces like that and lit up, but I don't think I've ever actually seen somebody catch video. So have a look at how tiny the divers are in this enormous space, and think about what it's like to enter and shine your torch and you don't see anything because your torch can't hit anything until you actually find, in this 100 by 100 meter space, you find something that your torch lands on. It will take a second, and have a look at this magical place filmed by Alex Dawson. von einem wahnsinnig schönen, ja, eine Kathedrale unter Wasser. Incredible images. Tell me a little bit, the lights you brought in there. How massive must they have been? And still you can hardly see them.
Yeah, so for a video like this, I bring 6 of the big blue dive lights, 65,000 lumen lights, plus an additional 33,000 lumen lights, plus each diver has pretty powerful lights too. So probably 500,000 lumens is brought in, and it's not enough really. I would need the quadruple really to do what I want.
Crazy. So if people want to know more and they want to maybe know more about your type of photography, are you on Pixel World today?
I will be in Pixel World doing a technical diving presentation and technical diving photography thing at 4:15.
So check out Alex Dawson on the Pixel World, 4:15, and a big applause please for this stunning film, stunning photography. Thank you.
Thank you.